Hello again, people. It's been a hectic few days and few weeks here at the house. And when that happens, gardening helps to calm the mind. It's been a while since I did an upload, been just things going on. I figured I'd give you a garden update as well as a vegetable update at the same time. So I wanted to show you, this is one of the hydrangeas. Okay, I can't see it on this side. This is the other one. But you can see the buds right there and right there. So they come off of, new shoots. So if you look under here, that's where I had pruned it up in the springtime. And then just off of there, there's a new shoot throwing out buds and flowers. And you can see some more there and some more over there. So I haven't even fertilized at all this year, just because things have been upside down here. So once I get on a fertilization routine, I'm expecting, we'll see how many flowers come out. But so definitely deadhead, cut back in the spring, and new buds will come out in the summer. Oh, there's one. There's another one there. And I think I saw a few that were actually open up there, actually. These ones that are open. Let me take you down. Oh, these hanging baskets are really nice. We're on the north-facing side of the house. It doesn't get a lot of sun, and these survive. But every morning, you got to be sweeping because they drop buds. Oh, I think there was one just now. We tried similar flowers like this before in Richmond Hill, but that was east-facing, and we had the morning sun, and they dried out ridiculously quickly. So these guys like shade, but they are absolutely pretty, the flowers on them. So that's been interesting. Seriously going to cut this thing down. And this thing. Crazy. But let me take you around. Hey, look at that. What's that over there? So the raised beds are in. This isn't finished. I was nervous because I don't even see them around here. There is a rabbit in the neighborhood. And I was half expecting to see half the stuff mowed down when I got up this morning, but as time goes on, we'll see what happens. In between the pathways, I'm going to put down cardboard and mulch because I don't want to have to try to fight to cut the grass in between. And if need be, I'll put her up the rabbit fence. I'm going to try to go without it to see how it goes, but we'll see what happens. The ways I was doing the raised beds. Okay, if you take a look, this bed and that bed was my original plan. So it doesn't look like it, but these are 3 pieces of wood that have been glued, laminated together, planed flat, and then made into panels. So made into 4 panels. Same thing with that one over there. Overall aesthetic is really nice. But I probably took too long before I started working on this wood. This is just construction grade lumber from Home Depot, and it sat in my workshop for a while before I started working on the beds and putting it together. And over that time it warped. So as I was working, I found that in order to get out the warps and make the panel straight, I had to be sanding and planing it down so much that I'm losing the thickness of the wood. So in order to keep my sanity, I started doing this. So from a distance, it looks okay. But if you take a look, I'm gonna have to cut that grass there. You can actually see the individual panels. And you can see how that's not a natural gap. This top piece is just sticking out more than the rest of them. So this way is a faster way of doing the beds, but the overall aesthetic isn't as nice as a plain, clean, what looks like one piece of wood application. But when you're dealing with warped wood, yeah, it was just taking up way too much time. And you can actually see the difference. This is, I can't get a measurement, about an inch and a quarter, or inch and an eighth thick. And this one, you can see how much thicker, because I didn't plane down these at all. These were just the woods forced together, clamped together, screwed together to make sure that the seams were as close as possible to get it done. Either method works. This is the more OCD, I want it to look straight and whatever method, which also works. This is the quick and dirty, my version of quick and dirty. But yeah, from a distance, to be absolutely honest, as long as the gaps are tight, you're not really going to notice too much of a difference between the two. Let's get into what's in the beds. So this first bed, these are the tomato plants. I believe this is Madre, and this is a Cayman. So these are indeterminate, I believe, the vining type. That's why I have the cages here. These ones are yellow cherry tomatoes that I have here. So these will grow more like a bush, so they don't need as much support as the ones that grow as a vine. The middle are hot peppers, 2 sweet peppers, so should be Orange Blaze and Sensation. And the hot peppers are, I believe, Hungarian Wax and West Indian Hot. Literally, that's what the package said, so I don't know the actual variety. And these are some of the nestrums. To hopefully they will turn some kind of flowers. They are supposed to flower. So like I said, trying to get pollination happening here. These two again are 2 vining types, probably Madre and Cayman again, and then the 2 cherry tomatoes in between. Yeah, we'll see how they go with the pollination. Still very scant and far in between with any kind of flowering things in the yard. I still have the Shasta daisies and coneflowers, but I have a feeling that those won't even bloom until next year. So yeah, I might end up going to Home Depot and getting some marigolds and just planting in between, just so we can attract some pollinators. This one, these are all cucumbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. These, no, these did not grow from the seeds that I had. Our neighbor wanted to make sure that there was cilantro, and so they bought a bunch from the store and planted it here, so that's why the cilantro is there. Nistrum again. These are oregano. I found that they've never got much bigger than this in the seeding tray, so I don't know what's going on. Oregano gets kind of big, so I'm hoping something will kick off now that they're in the actual ground. I honestly don't know. I don't really grow oregano. And these 4 are the eggplants, the Japanese eggplants, the long, elongated ones. Over here we have the Chinese water spinach. That's what that is, the kangkong. This was the lettuce sprouts. All these were just planted yesterday, like actually just put in the ground in the raised beds yesterday. So they're a little bit drooped. We had some rain last night, but hopefully in the next couple days they're going to revive again. And I just added some more lettuce seeds here, so hopefully that'll pop up. These are the bok choy or pak choy, and these are the kale. So that's what's in there. This one's the complete bed of morning glory. That's what's going on there. Oh, if you compare what I'm actually showing you here to the garden planter, you'll notice a little bit of some differences, because there were seeds that just didn't do well in the germination. Dill didn't come up at all. I think we got 1 celery plant, which I'm not even sure if we even planted. Spinach, for some reason, did not sprout at all. So there were some gaps in the beds where those plants were supposed to go, and we just put other stuff in there in those gaps. Snow peas also didn't do as well as it normally does. You've seen the previous videos when I'm growing those things in the basement, like it's like overgrown as a bush. Let's say 48 to 60 seeds were planted, And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 sprouted. That's it. 8, because one didn't survive the transplant. But that's it. So once again, I don't know if my seeds are old or what's going on there. I'm going to try to do some more test planting inside to see what's going on. But that's the snow peas. This is the choy sum, another Asian vegetable. This one's actually flowering already. It's an eager beaver there. These are carrots. We'll see if these actually transplanted okay. We had what seemed like a lot of root breakage when we were trying to transplant them. So interspersed in this row, I've actually planted carrot seeds as well. So we'll see what happens there. And I think this row was supposed to be celery. So what we did, since we didn't get anything in the germination, we just planted more peppers. So these are, I believe, both hot and, sorry, the West Indian hot and the Hungarian wax ones. That's what's all planted there. And finally, the 2 beds at the back. These are watermelons. Again with nistrums, because they're supposed to nisturi. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but whatever. These ones are supposed to do really well with, they're beneficial to melons and watermelons. So we have 4 of them planted in here. And these are the red and yellow watermelon plants. The original plan said 2 plants, but since it's been kind of wonky with the seeds and how they're germinating, I'd rather plant the extra plants and get almost an overabundance of watermelon than the 2 plants and they just don't do anything. And also consider the time of year. This is like mid-June now that are in the ground. This one is the cantaloupe. So once again, the nestrum around, and these are cantaloupe seeds. This is actually a mixture of seeds that I bought from Vessi and some seeds that I harvested from a cantaloupe that we bought from the store. I was actually surprised I got those to germinate. So there it is overall. Like I said, I have a longer growing season here, but the longer growing season might be earlier and not at the beginning of the season and not at the tail end of the season, but we'll see what happens. At the very least, we should be able to get some lettuce and some of the kangkong out of what we planted, and cilantro, since we just bought stuff with that. But yeah, that's it. Over time, you're going to see slight changes with this. Like I said, I want to put mulch in between the pathways, and I may or may not have to put up a small rabbit fence this year. But there you go.